And that's just so I can look back.
Okay.
So you're pretty right in terms of it's definitely a specialized search engine. What it is we're hoping that we've rethought the directory experience. So it's an intuitive search. We've really modeled it after a B2C user experience online,
right.
To allow an insurance broker to be able to search for and evaluate specialty and niche risk through this platform. It's called Insure. We're launching or aiming to launch middle of October.
Okay.
And we are just doing testing right now, which is what we're in right now.
Okay.
So what we do is we'll do a series of tasks that hopefully you will, be able to do quite easily.
Okay.
If there's anything that doesn't seem to make sense, again, just kind of talk out loud, think out loud, and we kind of go through it that way. One question for you is, do you have access to your email on your phone?
Yes.
You do, okay. So for that reason, we'll do a sign up. These are going to be scenario based. Some of them may seem a bit out there, okay. But bear with me. So a colleague of yours has referred you to Insure. Based on what you see right here, you can take control of the screen. Sign up.
Make sure I type that in right.
Something's happening. Interesting here.
I think I typed in the right password.
Okay. I'm trying to verify the sign up through the web. So that could be something. Yeah.
I hate typing on this thing, but I'm pretty sure that was right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see if we can log in.
Okay.
Because it might just be a.
Sure. Okay.
So you can use the same, and if not, then we'll log in with the test.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Any comments aside from that little glitch on the process of what you expected?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
For sure. Yep.
Okay, great. Okay, so the next task we'll be doing is just performing a search. So one of your clients has an affinity for antiques, why not perform a search in your own words for what you would consider sleeping products.
Okay.
Comments on that, in terms of what you expected to see, and then you could kind of talk me through what you're thinking on this page.
What if it was what I was thinking? Yeah, I think so. I mean, if I can scroll down and narrow the search a little bit, I think I'm good with that.
So in terms of narrowing the search, based on what you see right now, where would you go first?
I'd go to the left.
Yeah.
and I would look at the options to see how I could narrow it a little bit further. And it looks like I've got some options to go fine art and collectibles, which is, if I was searching that, that's what I would click. Do you have to refine? Applied filter, yep.
Is that what you expected?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah. Either way.
Yeah.
If it didn't do anything, then I would have. Yeah. Yeah. I'd probably think the apply, because you could request multiple changes, and then.
Yeah.
I don't know if apply filters what I would consider as being the right word.
What would you use instead?
Refine search.
Refine search.
But still pretty intuitive.
Okay, great. Any questions on this page in terms of what you're seeing and the information that's provided?
I guess I would have thought the text in blue, the more prominent, would have been the market.
Okay, so the name of the company.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Because if I'm searching fine art and I see high valued homeowners, for me as a specialty lines broker, I'm looking to place just fine art.
Right. Yeah.
Because I know any homeowner's policy includes fine art coverage.
Yeah. So you prefer to see the name of the company?
Yeah, I mean, I do see it now.
Yeah. Prominent text.
I don't know if it's I would prefer. I guess I would have thought.
Yeah.
But now that I look at it, and I guess once you've done a couple searches, you would understand the layout. But yeah, I probably would have thought the market first, then the
property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll do a couple more searches. The scenario is a potential client that has come to you looking for coverage for their biomass facility. Again, in your own words, the way that you would search for that.
If I knew what biomass was, I'd be okay with that. I don't specialize in anything biotech, but so let me type it in as it says it.
It's actually, it's actually renewables.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't play in that space, so. Okay.
In terms of, is this what you expected to find? Well, I guess not, because you weren't really sure exactly what biomass would be.
Yep.
But in this case, so this scenario is something very specific, and it doesn't necessarily match to type of product.
Right.
But how do you feel about that? Is that something that would turn you off? Is it something that you want to look further?
No, I mean, that's probably what I would expect. So if I typed in a word that was, or a topic that didn't have an exact product, it would give me the closest to, or what would fall under that product. So that's probably what I would expect.
Okay, great. Last search is you're kind of looking for a third room.
Yes.
Looking for coverage third room. Do you guys have any third
Yeah.
room? Yeah. And one of the comments on the search is that it was in there.
Yeah, there's a.
Yeah, they're not there because they haven't actually they haven't given us their product documentation.
Okay.
But if you click into one of these and you see what I mean. So basically, we have an editorial team behind this that is taking all the original documentation and creating what we hope is a comparable to buying a computer online. It's kind of down to key specs.
Yep.
So anything that's included in the system right now, you need to have a product fact sheet. If they don't have it, not in there yet.
Right.
But on this page, what are your thoughts in terms of this is what we call the more detailed product profile.
Right. It's got quite a bit of the stuff I would expect. Minimum premium, max amount of coverage. I just noticed a highlight sheet here somewhere, a fact sheet. I guess in addition to a fact sheet, I mean, typically if we're on a carrier site, I would want to see copy of the wordings if possible, contact information for an underwriter.
Yeah.
So I don't see that.
Yeah. So this particular product doesn't have an application form or supplemental form.
Okay. Yep.
Some of them do. Actually, if you go back, that's kind of what these little letters mean. And usually we decided to include them here. So it'll tell you ahead of time when you've got an app form or fact sheet. I don't think we have a lot of wordings in it.
It's not
a lot of wordings. But we can.
I don't know if it's crucial because they change quite often, so it would be a constant update. But highlight sheet, fact sheet, coverage information, minimum premiums, on drones, whether it's personal use or commercial use or both, any limitations.
Right, okay. And is there anything else? So your other question about underwriters.
Okay.
What we do is we do have a bank of contacts behind us for every underwriter that we know of when it's each product.
Okay.
So if you start an inquiry, we put you in touch with that underwriter, and that conversation can happen online, through email or whatever it is.
Right.
And you say, well, you want to contact that email. So the reason we haven't divulged the contact information is obviously we want to keep it on the site.
Right.
But as a broker using this for the first time, would that be a turn off? Would you really want to see that person's name and number?
I would just think it would streamline it or make it faster, because I don't know what the response time for this would be. And maybe if you had an upload feature where you could send a copy of the submission. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're working on that for phase 2.
Okay.
We're actually we're working with a couple, evaluating a couple of technology vendors right now to see if we can get electronic versions of all the forms so that you fill it out and submit rather than just submit.
Right.
Right. But right now, we have I think about 3,000 application forms on file, so that is definitely in the mix.
Okay.
So you would just personally prefer if you were able to just see the person's name and email them directly.
Personally, yeah.
Okay. So the next task we're going to be doing is you're going to find a company. So this scenario, you have a restaurant client looking for coverage, but your brokerage has a list of preferred companies. One of them is Retail Canada. Find the company profile and then determine through that company profile if they do hospitality.
Okay. Probably go like this.
And when this would come up, would you stop there? I see you hesitate a little bit.
I don't know what this is.
That's just page 1.
Page 1.
Page 1 of 1.
It looked like a radio button. Yeah, I guess that would be my first step.
What we would do, what we had a company profile actually is if you actually go into it.
Got it.
But
Okay.
it's interesting that you wouldn't. So does that not look clickable?
It didn't for some reason.
Yeah.
It should. Maybe if it was underlined, I don't know.
Yeah.
I probably would have scrolled over until I saw something, but okay. So I'd click on if I got past that part, and then I would just go to their hospitality.
Right.
Documents, application, fact sheet.
In terms of that search process and getting to the company profile, is it kind of what you expected? Is there anything else on that if we go back to the company profile that you would have wanted to see? If it was a company that you actually never worked with before, is there anything here that you'd want to see that's missing?
I don't think so, no. Detail about the company, website, address, number, products. No?
Okay. So the next thing is we're going to do, we've kind of already done this, but we have a more detailed scenario. So you have a digital media company in Quebec looking for cyber coverage in the event of data breach. You think that they should have $5 million in coverage, search and identify the consumer.
Okay. So that's what I would do, and then I would look through the list and see what carriers offer that limit and that type of coverage. And
okay. In terms of what you look for first, with a list like this, we know that everything qualifies based on the parameters. What do you tend to prefer, or what do you tend to look for first? The companies that you recognize.
First thing I would look for is the companies we currently work with already. Some we work more with than others. So I would go through the list. We work with Abex, Arch. We don't do anything with CanSure, although I know them. Chubb we do a lot with. I've never heard of TSW. Markel we work with. So I'd pretty much just go down the list and say, great, verifies that I know that these 4 markets are who I would go to on this particular risk.
Okay, great. And in terms of kind of related to that point, one of the things that we're going to be looking at is the only thing that's going to be required to use this is really to sign in. You can actually get to this page without signing in.
Okay.
But once you, like if you were to go to the actual product page,
right.
You're going to be required to be behind a sign-in wall.
Okay.
But we're looking to kind of, I guess, improve the results on an individual user basis. So something like preferred companies, is that, like if you were to be able to customize your profile, that's something that you would want to do. Like I want these 10 companies to come first.
100%.
Yeah?
Yeah. So we have an internal directory of our own. It's not as intuitive as this one, and it doesn't get updated, I'm sure, as frequently.
Yeah.
It doesn't have application forms, but it does have our preferred vendors in each sector, in each line, each product. So that's pretty much what we follow internally.
Yeah.
And so if we were working on a cyber account, we know that we've got 5 markets, and those are the preferred vendors, and so do our staff. So any account manager knows this is who Mitchell Sandham uses for cyber.
Okay, great. Because that's pretty easy for us to do, because we want to be able to improve that search result on individual user basis if we can. The other question I had, and I came up actually testing yesterday, was in initial research, brokers were telling me that it was really important for them to know whether there was in-house underwriting ability that they had then. What I've noticed is pretty much everybody seems to say that they have it.
Yeah.
And instead of that, so it really to me is not a differentiator between markets at all.
Nope.
But the other point that came up was yesterday was contracted versus open. Would that be something that instead of has the pen on the actual, is that something you'd want to know? I love.
Yeah, I think that would be a good feature, especially for other users that aren't principals of a brokerage. So I guess.
What does that mean?
So as a principal of a broker, I know which companies we have contracts with because we sign them all. Others might not. So if they saw CanSure, they may find that helpful if they knew or didn't know. But even if it is contracted or not contracted, some employees wouldn't even know if we have a contract or don't have a contract.
Right.
So has the pen, I don't care. If they can write the risk, they can write the risk. Whether they have binding authority or not, no, wouldn't for me. And then contracted versus non-contracted or open market.
I know.
Yeah, I mean
it's better than has the pen.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I noticed everything.
It's pretty much
Yeah.
We implemented it based on some feedback, but there's literally
Yeah.
maybe I don't know, like a handful, really a handful that don't.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it really is going to make that much of a difference.
No.
Okay, so let's just pick one of these. Doesn't matter. Maybe the ABS.
Sure.
Cyber liability. The client wants to proceed with. Sorry. This is supposed to be with the side product.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. And so just locate and download the application form.
Okay. For ABEX.
For this.
Yep. Renewal. Okay.
Is that easy to find? Any comments on that?
Nope. Easy. Easy.
And then finally, we can do this already. But before you apply your question, submit an inquiry to the company. So you can jump back.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keep this page.
So I just fill it out. Yep.
Okay, great. So that's pretty much all of the tasks that we're going to go through today.
How would we know when I search cyber? There's certain companies I didn't see come up that I would expect to come up.
Yeah.
So with the directory, is it an open market for carriers? What's the participation?
So it's free to use and free to list.
Okay.
We are asking it's a bit of a loose definition because we don't. Some people say specialty has a very specific definition and niche has a specific definition. What we're using is basically just non-standard based on what brokers are saying they find difficult to place.
Okay.
So there's no requirement that providers or companies need to meet aside from brokers consider this a product that is difficult to find, and they will be listed. The only reason that there will be things missing, it's not that we would exclude them. It would be that we need to have the product documentation.
Right.
Because we actually know right now in the system we have about, I think the last time I had was about just over 1,300 products that we have what we're calling converted. Converted into our standardized format. But I know from our initial and a database that we have put together of all products, specialty products in Canada, it actually close to 5,000. So we have there's a huge gap to fill.
Right.
But what we're waiting on, and a lot of our BDFs right now are focused on meeting with these companies and getting them to see the value of giving us the information.
Right.
Because it doesn't cost them anything to get it on there.
Right.
But without it in there, that's the reason it's not showing up.
Right.
So actually, if you see, actually, that's a question for you. Is that we have a research team full time behind this, and we're updating it. We have an audit schedule that we are actually going to companies to make sure that it's up to date. But they also have the option of reaching out to us and saying, "Hey, we got a new product. We have new documentation, whatever it is."
Yep.
Do you think that you want to see something like last updated? So you would be able to see, how up to date is this record?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
On the document, on the listing, on everything? What do you think?
Probably on the listing.
Okay.
So in my mind, if I did a search for cyber drones or what have you, then that list that I get, I would know how updated it was.
Yeah.
Or how current it was.
Yeah.
Just because in the specialty niche market, it's constantly changing. Companies are in and out.
Yeah.
Frequently. The other thing I was thinking, in some search engines, when you start typing, it'll start.
Yeah. Is that something you'd want to see?
I like it.
Yeah.
Just because sometimes I may not know exactly the product or the name or so if I start typing something and it starts related, like if I started typing drone, unnamed or UAVs and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, that's very doable. We also, I've noticed we don't have a spell check on that.
Oh, okay.
Just good to have. Yeah, okay. That's useful. So yeah, I mean, we've got, right now, this is the month, we have over 140.
Okay.
Not what we've noticed also is that of those 140, I think, there's 44 of them that have no products listed because there's no documentation given to us.
Okay.
So we're working on that right now. It's just to reach out and kind of show them what we have, and the more filled out a profile is, the better it performs in the search, because we are looking at the search is seeing the title, the target class, the classification, we've got a classification system on the back end, as well as it's indexing every term on the fact sheet. So if we use a term, let's say biomass, that's why it's showing up. It's showing up because it's showing up somewhere on that fact sheet.
Okay.
And then we're excluding or negating anything that has an exclusion. So that's why we have the editorial receipt, so we read everything.
Right.
Like, oh, by the way, this word's there, but we need to make sure the search doesn't see it.
Right.
So that's how the search is working. But
okay.
We're trying to get companies to see it. If they fill it out, you will, return higher on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions? Any suggestions? Feedback in general?
Is the intent just to be specialty lines, or is it other lines? Is it?
We would like the focus right now, and I think for the medium term is going to be specialty. Yeah.
Okay.
We're looking at rolling it out not just in Canada. We're already working on the Australian market as well as the UK. We know that this model, granted that it works, I mean, the response so far on the focus has been very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's application across some of the other verticals as well, and other, whether it's just some of the more standard lines or life and health. So we, more long term, look to potentially apply it there.
Right.
Why do you ask?
I was just curious, because obviously we, as a broker, we deal with all lines, specialty, standard lines, personal insurance. So to have one solution, one directory would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Instead of, we have insure here for specialty lines, and then a non-specialty risk, we have another directory or whatever it might be. So that's why I was just curious if the plan was to expand it further.
Yeah. We would, I think that we'll have to see, how the market reacts. One of the things that really came out, I did a lot of the hundreds of interviews with brokers, was that I found them less, they were certainly a lot more confident with their standard lines.
Right.
They didn't seem to have any concerns about where to go.
Right.
When it came to this kind of stuff, they were really, you could tell they were getting a little bit, I don't know, I used the directory, it's out of date.
Yeah.
Spent 2 weeks calling somebody. And, so to me, the business case was a lot stronger.
Right.
The specialty niche.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, maybe it might be a pain point in just some standard P&C as well.
Well, I'm even thinking liquor liability is a big one. Standard, fairly easy to place, but markets are in and out constantly.
Yeah.
So what markets are in, what's their capacity, how much liquor exposure can they take? Is it 20%, 50, can they go 100?
Right.
It seems like a moving target. So to have that ability to do a quick check is something I would think would be beneficial.
Yeah.
Which wouldn't fall into a specialty.
Yeah. I'm curious what liability.
Want me to type it in?
Yeah. Because what we've actually struggled quite a lot with is that definition. What makes it in there?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm yet to find or get from.
You have to.
No, I think that sometimes the Wi-Fi connection is not the greatest.
Okay, so you do.
Mm-hmm. So we don't I'm not even sure how we're going to define it.
Okay.
But,
so let's see. Probably because it comes, oh, here, webpage looker. So it's in here.
Mm-hmm. How would you define specialty?
I don't really have a definition for it. We consider ourselves specialty brokers and experts in each class. So the old specialty lines is it kind of refers to the E&O, the D&O.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
But now it's just expanded because now you have drones and you have cyber, and have a whole bunch of Airbnbs, you got Uber, you got
Yeah.
I just feel.
I know we don't have home and auto.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's what we don't have. Unless
Yep.
we do home. The reason that we have that would be home would be I know that we were working on building out our thesaurus. I know that what I think we're doing is a sharing economy.
Yeah.
The I'm not even sure. The editors going across that. Putting together thousands and thousands of thesaurus words. Like this means this.
Yeah, so
Airbnb is in there.
So I'm working on an account right now, rented condos through Airbnb. So, and here, this is who I'm using.
Okay.
Premier.
But yeah, so we don't like the stuff that we have that's within home would be the Hansel Place home.
Right.
Or high net worth homeowners. And a lot of that we're including if it's an MJ that tends to offer specialty lines, like, and they have something that's called home, chances are it tends to be more specialized.
Right.
So they would be in there.
Okay.
But we wouldn't have like a Zurich or Intact, which is kind of generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, yeah, so that was it.
Cool.
The last part is just kind of your genuine feedback, so be honest as you would like.
Sure.
It's probably best for us anyway.
Great.
Yeah, thanks so much.
You're welcome. When do you plan on going live with it?
Yeah. Plan on launch to be October 17th.
Okay, so you guys are soon.
Soon.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, there's a few things to kind of fine tune.
Mm-hmm.
But in general, feedback has been pretty good. I think that it's going to be it's going to be a bit of a journey to actually get fully populated.
Right.
But I think the faster and sooner we can get brokers in there using it, I think it's going to really provide a bit of an impetus to the industry, to the markets to really get this stuff together.
Right.
Because I think there's a couple of insurance markets that like and specifically marketing assist. They do it through
okay.
IBAO. There've been a couple attempts to do kind of a digital version of the directory, but I think people have been kind of burned. Like it's not very user friendly.
Yeah. I don't know how up to date it is.
And a lot of it's you got to pay to be in it. And markets say they do everything, they don't.
Yeah.
So a lot of brokers that I've spoken to is like, well, we called them and they said they didn't do it.
Yeah.
And,
you do see that a lot.
Yeah, so I think that if we can prove to brokers that we have something that's up to date and it's accurate, I think that markets don't cost anything really.
Right.
They get paid for the upsells and they get sort of the top of the list of promoted posts and that kind of thing.
Right. But, how will you launch it? How do you intend to get it out there?
So I mean, because we're uniquely positioned with IBC, we have 28,000 active subscribers, which helps.
Yep.
And we're also launching that week because it's IBAO. So we're going to have a presence there. We're hiring someone who's dedicated to social media.
Right.
So I think that
I saw the post this morning, actually. Was it was another broker, Marriott Insurance? I think I saw.
That's where I was yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Everybody expects me to do that. We have to take a selfie. Okay.
Yeah. I did see that.
So we're really going to push. I think that what I like is for the more tech-savvy, progressive brokers to really take to it.
Right.
And if we can get in there, I think that it will start to get a bit of traction.
Right.
So that's the strategy. But I think that because we've got IBC, we have the luxury of running an editorial campaign every week.
Right.
For 52 weeks.
Right.
Yeah, we do a lot of outlets doing that.
No. So what's the benefit for you in launching this?
So we're looking at, there's obviously a little bit here and there in terms of advertising revenue.
Sure.
But what we're really looking at is the data behind it. If we can get and really build broker profiles on what's underserved, what are they placing every day.
Right.
A lot of the companies are also looking not so much at personal information so much, but it's more, we have, let's say 20,000 searches for drones and there's only 5 markets.
Right.
Is that an underserved? Is that a product development opportunity, that kind of thing? So
right.
We're looking at that sort of thing, and when we look at that in combination with the Australian and the UK market, and we start to get into the larger numbers, I think that's going to be interesting because we could technically even flip it and create a search in generally on the opposite side of the companies, not to see who's using it, but just to see the trends in searches.
Right.
Like what's being searched today.
Right. So a big play on the data, right?
Yeah. But we have to be careful about how we do that.
Yeah.
But the other piece of it is also if we can get into the forms, the electronic forms, and we'll really create an efficiency in that process. Also for underwriters, I've done a lot of research for underwriters as well. They field calls from brokers every day asking the same questions.
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
They go to the application form.
Yeah.
We're hoping we can cut that out and we can then add the forms on top of that. That would be probably a premium version that even the underwriter or even the broker might pay for it.
Right. What about a lot of markets are now coming out with online quoting portals?
Yeah.
So a link to.
We're looking to see how we can integrate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I found, have you seen that with a lot of MGAs? Like I know that some of the...
It's starting now.
It's starting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Pre-Church was in our office yesterday.
Okay.
They just launched...
I'm supposed to be with them 2 weeks from now.
So they have a builder's risk, rented dwelling,
online
application process, and it's a quote process. It's not a bind, but it's at least a quote. There's a couple others as well. Well, Trisura is a carrier, but they have an online.
They've got an online, We'll see them next week as well.
Yeah.
They were one of the first, actually both Pre-Church and Trisura were quite supportive.
Right.
Yeah, really, really on.
There's a couple others, but I know more are coming.
Yeah. So we are looking at, that's kind of one of the reasons why I thought it was best that we look at just launching without the application piece because I knew that I've seen that trend with Portals as well, that maybe we may need to just focus on integration rather than do it ourselves.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably going to be kind of a Q2 thing next year.
Right.
But yeah, October will be
great.
What we're looking for.
Good. Well, yeah. I mean, the site looks great. I mean, I love the first page.
Yeah, we're hoping like some of the bits of advertising, you know, a company that's you're going to be able to like actually put their branding on it, and, you know, choose their photo, and you know that kind of stuff, you know, to begin with. But
so this would be all the products in here.
These are the lines. So we have a classification system on the back end that is overarching lines of business, but within that we would have, like, let's say within construction, we probably have about 25 subcategories. So it would be contractors, it would be construction equipment, etc. And then within that we have keywords. So what we've chosen on this page is just like the overarching lines of business, because I know that a lot of brokers who use print directories right now, they think in terms of lines of business. They search the Canadian underwriter book in terms of lines of business. So they wanted to have as an option if they really wanted to look in that way. Okay. Technically could look that way.
Right.
Yeah. It's nowhere near as accurate because we have, I mean, something like this. What is this category?
I think I clicked on information technology.
Right. 89 listings. It will definitely be as granular as if you put, you know, media cyber risk or something.
Right.
So I think it's for the older folks that prefer just to let you menu.
Yeah.
Yes. But you'll be the first to know. You know, first beta test is we'll be the first. And you know, you're going to get early access if they want it.
Okay. Great. Yeah, we tried to build something we did build something internal, but it's not as definitely not intuitive, or it's all we went with the just a dynamic table of content. So it's literally by product, click the product and it drops you down to a listing of who our preferred vendors are.
Right, which at least
it's something.
It's something, but it also is defined. The biggest challenge with this is that it's so undefined. You know, who do we choose to include? You know, the list of products is like literally never ending. And that's where, you know, I think we're staffing right now the research team, because it's just how we come up.
And it's the same with us. We have the directory is editable by anyone in the company because so many things are changing. So Airbnb is a big one. We're having a huge push on that right now. So we're building out our database in terms of who we use that offers that product.
Right.
And there's so many limitations in that product. So you'll notice that some carriers can do up to 4 weeks of rental. Some have no limitations. Some have exclusion for vandalism by tenants. So it's we're trying to build that out so we can say, okay, these 6 markets are Airbnb. They're our preferred vendors, and
this is what they can do. Well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, I hope it's well received. I think it's a lot better than what's out there right now. So.
No, for sure. No, what's out there is terrible.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Is the insurance business the only publication you guys do here?
No, we do a lot. We do within financial services. We also do life and health professional.
Okay.
We do wealth professional as well for wealth management. We do HR, HR Director magazine. We do mortgage professional, Canadian real estate wealth, real estate professional for for brokers.
And are you on the insurance side, or you're all?
I'm on. So I actually. So I'm managing this product specifically.
Right.
So from research and development through to production. But I actually used to be on the live event side. I specialize in new product development. So I've launched new products for them. This is the first digital. This is very new for them. They have nothing else like it. So they're very jazzed.
Nice. I can see why.
Are you going to be at IBA?
Yeah, usually I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, do they go pure open about that? Yeah, we don't want to do that. Yeah. Lots of we could do this. Right. But right now, we've got movable years when it's short it's not, but yeah. Yeah. Great. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Hi.